Hello, good afternoon. And today I will talk about how to teach a particular topic in social studies. We are going to talk about eighth grade, and in eighth grade we are going to talk about the freedom movement. And in freedom movement, we are going to talk about one particular topic, that is Mangad massacre. Now, see, because since our teachers go to schools to teach, and we at times observe how it is being taught, I felt it is important for me to, reflect and come back and tell this uh, to the fresh teachers, that it is very essential for us to teach in a particular way so that it makes the topic more relevant, concrete, and more relatable. And in order for me to explain that idea to you, I am taking up this conversation today with all of you. I'll share my screen so that it becomes more clear. So here we are going to talk about a particular topic, which is just let me do slideshow. Yeah. So we are going to talk about a particular topic, um, which is Freedom Movement, Chapter 6 in 8th grade. The subtopic, so it's important. The first thing that we need to understand is the topic is to be written very clearly on the board. And along with that, it is also very important to write down the subtopic that you're going to discuss in the class, which is, for me today, it is Mangad massacre. And see, when we talk about teaching a particular topic, we need to use the skills of teaching in a particular way so that you teach in the best possible manner to the students, right? Now, uh, Mangad massacre, if I want to teach it, I first have to introduce the topic to the students. Even if I'm teaching freedom movements every day in my class, each topic can have its own introduction. And when you introduce, you are basically able to get that um, connectedness with their prior understanding and the current topic that you have to teach. So, when I'm talking about Mangad massacre, the introduction can be art related introduction, because NEP is talking about integrating a little art into your teaching, a little illustration into your teaching. And so, what we can do is we can begin with introducing the idea of, if they have been really to a place where it is, it is very nature oriented place. Probably it's a place where it is known as hill station, so you can just begin with an idea of, draw a hill station. Okay. And I'm sure you can bring your own, you know A4 sheets in the class, distribute them, ask them to draw a place, where it was known as a hill station, and where they have been there for their vacations, and they can just have nice colored hill station drawing and can present that idea to you. If there are people who do not like, drawing, you can always ask them to describe that hill station in their own words. So you are basically looking at 2 points. One is, sketching, drawing, and illustrating. Or you can ask them to, write about it, elaborate on the idea of how hill station uh, is a good place to visit, and what are the aspects of a good hill station. So it can really bring about that creativity into the class and a little more fun, because uh, it's always one-sided traffic that goes on into a classroom, which is more about teacher explaining it. Rather, you can get the students involved here and begin with that. Now, if we go a little further, I'm going to talk about Mangad massacre today, and this was the topic which one of my students took into the schools, and I really liked the way she took it up and introduced it. Okay, so I am going to discuss a little on Mangad massacre, which is your main body of the class. This is what you really want the students to focus upon. So since they have already drawn their hill station idea, or since they have written about it, they might have visited Mount Abu, they might have visited um, a hill station like Dehradun or Shimla, Manali, right? They might talk about these places, they might describe, they might write. Now you relate that with Mangad as a hill station, because Mangad, putting your more emphasis on the hill station is important. So if you see Mangad hill, is it, and it's basically a hill station. So you connect what you have done in your first slide as an introduction to what you're going to teach today, which is about Mangad Hill. And now it is a hill station. So you can see it's surrounded by the Aravalli ranges, because it is into the border of Rajasthan and Gujarat. So Aravalli Hills is something that is important here. And it is also like into the area of Dahod, basically. And Dahod, as we know, is a very natural and a very a place where you see a good amount of wildlife, good amount of nature, hills, and all of that. So it's a good mix of a nice hill station. So, but then it seems that it is a very nice idea to see it in the form of a hill station, but when it contradicts it with a massacre, that brings another idea to it. So those are two contrasting ideas, and I really found my student taking that idea really well into the class. This Mangad Hills, which is also considered now as a hill station, that's where the massacre took place. And massacre, in the sense, when we talk about massacre, massacre is mass killing of people. So this is also known as, this Mangad massacre is also known as Adivasi Jallianwala Bagh kind of massacre, because after Mangad massacre, the Jallianwala massacre took place. This happened in the year of 1913. Mangad massacre happened in 1913. And it is said that an estimated of 1,500 Bhils and freedom fighters were massacred here, were killed here. Textbook and state board textbook talks about around 1,300 Bhil tribals and freedom fighters killed, but on the net it is on the side of 1,500. So I've taken that number. Now, they were killed by British forces and troops from local princely states, and you can look into this idea, which were the princely states that collaborated with British forces and killed these many number of people. I have not researched, so this is something that you can take up. And they were basically led by a social reformer known as Govind Guru. Okay, now Govind Guru led this movement, and the protest, basically. It's protest is basically an objection that you raise to somebody because of the disapproval of a particular idea. So Govind Guru, along with this tribal people, they took up this protest because they wanted to fight for their rights in the form of uh, uh, putting an end to bonded labors, and the heavy taxes um, that were implicated on these tribals, and the social injustice that was happening to them in terms of the way they were being looked at. So it was a movement of tribal movement, basically, that was led by Govind Guru. And Why now Govind Guru? So this was something that even students were asking in the school when she took up this plan. Why Govind Guru? So now, unless you plan really well, you will not be able to check this idea that why I should be relating Govind Guru with this Bhil movement, why he should be part of it. So I researched a little more and came to know that basically Govind Guru was part of Dungarpur state, and he also came from Banjara background. So he could very well relate to the issues that these Bhils had, and he wanted to fight for their rights, and that's why since he comes from the background Dungarpur state, which is in Rajasthan, coming from a Banjara background, he could also feel the pain of this tribal people, and since he was a social reformer, he led the movement, and that's how Govind Guru is associated with leading the tribal people and the Mangad massacre. Um, so this event basically occurred, as I've mentioned earlier, also 6 years before the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and so it was known that if you protest, then this is what can happen in terms of the protest. Now, this entire Mangad hill area is surrounded by scattered forest and beautiful backwaters of Kadana Dam. If you have been there, if you have seen that, so you can really relate all of this to the students' vacation life or the students' life, where you can really ask them to visit this place, and you can also ask them to see this particular um, a monument which is raised in the respect of the people who lost their lives in this Mangad massacre. You will also be able to see, where it is situated in India, near to Gujarat and the Rajasthan, border. This is where Mangad Hill is, and this is the picture of Govind Guru. So we have made all of this a very together piece of teach. What are the additional points that we have added beyond the textbook is that this is known as Adivasi Jallianwala Bagh event. It happened 6 years before the actual Bagh massacre. Um, why it was led by Govind Guru? How did he look like? Where was he from? How does it look like in map? How this particular monument is erected in the respect of the people who lost their lives. And so all of this is not there in the textbook, and it happens to be a very good piece of teaching to the students. So this brings more value to you, to what you transact into your classrooms. The next point is who are these Bhils? So since it was led for Bhils, we need to know what do we mean by Bhils. Now, Bhils are basically the tribal community and the second largest tribe in India, basically. In 2001, now this is a very old data, but you can update that with new data. In 2001, the population was 34 lakhs 41,945, um, uh, uh, and the Bhil tribal community mainly resides in Rajasthan, Western Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and Northern Maharashtra. And you could also see the Bhil community pictures here, so which are not there in the textbook. Now, this adds more value to it. This is, the Pithora paintings that these Bhils, take up. These are the jewelries that they usually wear. You can see here they are wearing those jewelries. So you are adding more value to the information that's being given to the students in the form of the artworks that they do, or the products that they make, and the way they even clothe themselves. And after this, there was this Vyara tribal movement, which was primarily into the southern Gujarat, led by Bhil tribes in southern Gujarat, which is now part of Baroda state, basically. And that was also against, the corrupt or the oppressive forest policies, land alienation, and the way the officials were corrupting the entire system. And also that's where this particular topic ends at. Now, if you will be able to see, there are a lot of things that we have added here. So we are asking them to, draw, we are asking them to describe, we are making sure that they see it in map where Mangad Hills is. We are asking them to see, like, after 6 years Jallianwala Bagh event happened and we never knew about one more massacre, which was Mangad massacre. So we are just relating that with this earlier massacre. We are asking them to see the picture of Govind Giri Banjara and who was he? Why was he associated with this movement? How does Mangad, this monument, basically looks like now? Why this happened? Okay, and how backwaters of Kadana Dam make it a beautiful place? What are these bills? And bills basically comes from the word from 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 the two core words, which is bow and arrow. So they are the people who basically use this as their weapons to keep them safe, and that's why they are known as bills. And you are able to add the paintings that they basically do, and the jewelry that they wear, and the way they dress themselves, and along with the Vyara movement. So that's how you can make the topic more interesting by adding relationships of people in that particular topic and making sure that everything becomes more concrete. Now, this took me an hour and a half to plan. If you see in front, it just took 15 minutes to, transact it. But it was transacted so easily because I worked at the back, so much so that it becomes very easy for somebody to understand. And that's where the role of a teacher is, and teaching is. A teacher should make the content really easy, connected, coherent for the student to go through. And so when it comes in the front, it might look very easy, but somebody has done a lot of effort behind, and that's where the role of lesson plan is. If you really plan well, then you'll be able to execute the topic easily and with a lot of effectiveness, and making it more concrete and utility based to the students who are in front of you. Thank you. We will come up with more videos which will make you an effective teacher in front of the students, and even answer the questions that might come. Uh, um, and you'll be able to answer them well because you're prepared. Now, if I would have not prepared on why Govind Guru, the student may ask the way they asked my student, why he was related to this movement. So the more you prepare, the more you have background of it, and the more you are confident in front of students in your class. Thank you. And I'll see you in further videos with more of such topics.